Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So listen, I have a few questions for you. Is your skin not showing up for you the way that it has for so long? Has something changed? Is it itchy now? Is it dry? Have you seemed to lost that supple glow? Or is the acne just never going away no matter what you're doing? Or do you just feel like you're prematurely aging and you look in the mirror and your skin is just dull and lifeless? Well, today I'm going to share with you 5 ways that your sugar intake may be the culprit for your skin woes. Now you might say, I don't eat sugar, I don't have a sweet tooth, I don't drink soda, I don't do any of that, I don't even drink alcohol. But guess what? The average American is consuming 4.3 ounces of sugar a day. And I want to give you a visual, okay? So this is a week of sugar intake, all of this. And actually this beaker couldn't even fit in all the sugar that makes for what we are consuming every week. And get this, it's not in your sweet treats. It's not found in the obvious places. These are added sugars in your everyday foods, in your bread, in your pasta sauce, in your crackers, in your cereal, in your protein bars, in your protein powder for your shakes, in your condiments, in your powdered flavored coffee drinks from Starbucks. That's where and your smoothies, that's where you're getting all of this sugar every month. And this equals 8 pounds of sugar every single month, okay? So let's talk about how sugar affects your skin. It definitely affects your body, and the insulin levels, which we're gonna talk about, are definitely a precursor for type 2 diabetes. So this is serious stuff, guys. Let's get to it. So the first thing that happens that negatively impacts our skin because of this intake of sugar is a process called glycation. And glycation is the process of which glucose, the sugar molecule in our blood, now wants to attach to proteins and fats in the body. The most abundant protein in our body is collagen, and then there's elastin, right? And these two proteins give our skin its structure, its snapback, its bounce, its suppleness, and its structure. So what ends up happening when glucose attaches to these fibers, these strong, resilient, stable, structural fibers, something called AGEs happens, which is advanced glycation end products. And think of Samson and Delilah. You have this strong strength of Samson and these fibers, and then here comes AGEs like Delilah, and it just turns these fibers into weak, brittle, and dry fibers that end up, we see this in our skin. We see this breakdown in our skin structure. It also disrupts the barrier because it disrupts that lipid matrix on the barrier. So there goes our suppleness and that firmness that we are, looking for. And now we're seeing something has changed, and I bet it's AGEs. The second way that high sugar intake is going to disrupt your natural glow is because of insulin resistance. And insulin resistance is a much bigger problem than how your skin looks, because clearly it can lead to type 2 diabetes. But insulin resistance does a couple of things as well to your skin, and it also disrupts your body's hormones, and many of those are responsible for the health and structure of your skin and skin cell turnover. So let's talk about insulin resistance. So insulin resistance can contribute to acne, and it can also contribute to a type of hyperpigmentation known as acanthosis nigricans. And this hyperpigmentation shows up as large dark patches or streaks in the skin. As well, insulin resistance, like I mentioned, can disrupt other hormones in your body. So think of your thyroid, your T3 and T4 hormones. These are responsible for your skin structure, the thickness of your skin, and skin cell production and turnover rate. So, and as well can elevate cortisol levels in the body, and elevated cortisol levels will show up in a sensitive skin and a disrupted barrier. So that is, sorry, all of a sudden I just got like really itchy. So these are some of the ways that insulin resistance can disrupt your skin's natural glow, and those are just 2 hormones out of many that I'm mentioning in this video. The third way that sugar can deplete your skin of its radiance is that it can disrupt the level of hydration in the body. And how it does this is because that glucose, that sugar molecule that we talked about earlier, is in the blood. And now this is sending a signal to the body like ding, 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 red alert. And now the body wants to dilute the glucose levels, and it ends up drawing water from your cells to dilute the blood. And this is a temporary fix. This is not a solution for the problem. And what ends up happening is the more that this happens and the body's taking water from our cells to dilute the glucose levels in the blood, that we end up with a weakened cell membrane. And a weakened cell membrane will show up as a weakened barrier, but also can contribute to a host of many other problems, because if your cell membrane is weakened, then that means that the structure, the host, which is the cell, just like our skin is protecting the host, which is our body, well, now that is vulnerable to pathogens and further, long set and chronic disease. Now let's talk about the mineral imbalance caused by a lot of sugar and how this intake increases the excretion of minerals like zinc. Zinc is responsible for wound healing. It's responsible for collagen synthesis of the skin, and it's responsible for skin repair. Then there's calcium, and it gets in the way with calcium absorption, this high sugar intake, and this can lead to dry and itchy skin. It can also lead to eczema. So if you're starting to notice eczema and you are noticing also in your foods that you're consuming a lot of sugar, this may be the reason why. It's something to look into. And also phosphorus, which is responsible for healthy cell membrane, and we've already talked about the cell membrane, and we're also seeing that sugar is disrupting the cell membrane due to that extraction of water. That's to dilute the sugar in the blood, is disrupting that barrier, weakening that cell membrane. And now with the phosphorus, which is responsible for healthy cell membrane formation and our skin structure. So, we want to be really mindful about all of the things that we're doing that are disrupting our cells. We want to just be like, put a break on it, slow down. If you're learning that this is potentially this sugar intake is disrupting your cell membrane in all these different ways, then we just have to be mindful and put 2 and 2 together and come up with a different plan for what we're eating and how we're living and how we're taking care of our skin. It also disrupts the electrolyte balance in the body, and especially with potassium, responsible for keeping our cells hydrated, keeping our skin hydrated. So this mineral imbalance is just one more way, the 4th way. We're going to get to number 5, that sugar, a high sugar intake, is interfering and hijacking your skin's natural glow. And the last way that, and I don't know why I'm smiling like this because it's not fun, I'm just like, but the last way that this high sugar diet can interfere with your skin's natural glow is through chronic low grade inflammation. And this chronic, it might be low grade, but it's chronic. It's every single day. It's cumulative. And this creates a hostile environment in the body, and it creates a hostile environment for your skin. And you notice it in your skin with a decreased lipid barrier. So a lot of dryness, sensitivity, slowed down, delayed wound healing, and as well as new skin conditions happening. You're all of a sudden acne or dermatitis, or like I mentioned, eczema, or you have that already and nothing is working. Nothing you're doing is healing. This prolonged healing process is could be due to this chronic low-grade inflammation of this high sugar intake. And all of this is affecting the structure of our skin, the suppleness of our skin, the hydration levels of our skin's ability to have the skin cell production on the natural process, and skin cell turnover, thickness of the skin, resilience of the skin in the elements, and being left vulnerable to a host of problems because of this barrier dysfunction that we are creating from this high sugar intake. So I hope you learned something. I hope this made sense to you on some level. Please look at what you're eating. Do kind of stock up on these protein bars and protein shakes and breads and crackers, and you do drink those Starbucks or Peet's Coffee or wherever you go to get these coffee drinks that are flavored with these powders and all of that sugar and other additives. Like, we're just talking about sugar. I mean, there's so many additives in those coffee drinks that are affecting your skin and your body. So let's start being a little bit more mindful. Instead of just running to the store to buy some new product because someone said that's going to help your skin heal, let's just like take a chill pill, slow down, take back control, get empowered to know that you have the answer. You know what you've been eating, you know how you've been living, you know what your lifestyle looks like. So make just some adjustments where you need them to have the results that you want. Okay, so that's my video for today. I hope that you're going to join my Eat Your Way to Gorgeous Bootcamp, which is launching later this fall. Join the waitlist because you get all kinds of great freebies, and that link is below in the comments to join that waitlist, as well as a link to download my Radiance Skincare Guide. This is especially for you if you have dry skin and sensitive skin. These are my tried and true tips after more than 20 years as a practicing esthetician. It's not about product, it's not about buying stuff, it's about what you're doing at home. And please subscribe, please leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, and if you know that this video will help a friend, go ahead and share it. Okay, so I'll see you next time, and thanks so much. Have a great day.